Okay, stop what you're doing. This video is so stupid that I think it really could represent a turning point for not just the United States, but humanity if this catches on. There's a video going viral from MSNBC's Heidi Przybyla, and she's talking about the fundamental thing that unites Christian nationalists around Donald Trump. Let's check out the clip.
The one thing that unites all of them, because there's many different groups orbiting Trump, but the thing that unites them as Christian nationalists, not Christians, by the way, because Christian nationalists is very different, is that they believe that our rights as Americans, as all human beings, don't come from any earthly authority. They don't come from Congress. They don't come from the Supreme Court. They come from God.
No, you heard that right. You don't need to play it back or adjust the volume on your phone. She said that what unites Christian nationalists in particular in their orbiting around Trump is that they believe that their rights, and not just their rights, but all rights, meaning human rights, don't come from any earthly authority. Rather, they come from God. Now, let me ask you this, because Heidi contradicts herself right off the bat. If they're orbiting Trump, but one thing unites them, then that one thing that unites them is not Trump. It would be God, right? And she says specifically, Christian nationalists are different from Christians. So wait, Christians don't believe human rights come from God? Heidi, maybe you've never read this. And listen, it's a very little known document today. It's called the Preamble to the Declaration of Independence. It says, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So were the founders of this nation Christian nationalists as well? Would you classify them as that? Surely not, right? There were some people who probably believed in God and some people who did not. But what seems to unite them in a founding historical document of this nation is a belief that rights very specifically came from God. Unless the creator in this preamble is a man, we have three options and three options only. Isn't it so nice to have some truth? There are only three options here. Your rights either come from God, they come from man, or they don't come from anywhere, and humans have no rights. Which one of these three options is most secure for human rights? If your rights come from man, then what happens when a Hitler rises to power? Well, then he is the ultimate authority at that point. If man decides what human rights you have, isn't that what feminism is about right now? Rights for women? Why? Because the patriarchy, men, have controlled their rights in the past. If you fundamentally believe that men or the patriarchy, or now women, or Donald Trump, or a Hitler, or a Biden, if these men control what rights you have, not just writing a law a law could be a bad law. Just because you write in the law, all humans don't have the right to life. Does that make it true? Or does that mean that that man or woman has gone now in contradiction with a fundamental human right? I would say it's the latter. That man or woman is flawed and they don't understand fundamental human rights. Okay. If your rights don't come from anyone at all, well then prepare, because we could be headed for the darkest years in human history. If the media could convince people that they actually don't have any rights other than the rights given to them by the media, well, then they achieve absolute and complete power over the people. So obviously, there's one option left. If rights are given to people by God, a being not only other than human, but superior to humanity, who can touch that? And if all men are equal, that means every single human being, man, woman, and child, has been given, or as the preamble says, endowed by God with these rights that no other equally created man can take away from them. Now, you tell me in the comments, which one of those options seems more secure in terms of a way or a philosophy for looking at human rights? I think Heidi has displayed here not only a complete ignorance of this country's history, but world history. There are plenty of civilizations that have believed that rights come from God. But I'll tell you this, and I'm about to contradict myself here. While I believe that she's being absolutely ignorant, I don't believe that these things get on TV by accident, that these things make their rounds by accident. I would hope that a lot of the viral reaction and pickup that this video is getting is because of how stupid what she just said actually is. But there are lots of people who might believe it, who might start to think about, oh, well, where do human rights come from? Like I said, there's only three options. Everyone who hears or sees this video needs to make it clear in their own mind and decide for themselves where human rights come from. Because this is just the beginning. They will try to continue to push this idea that you actually don't have any rights as a human being. It's the rights that I give you, right? It's the rights that media gives you. Well, then you have man establishing themselves as God over the people. Very interesting times we're living in. Of course, sound off down in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this. Wow. I'll see you in the next one.